Samya Mishra. I'm currently a PGP student with the batch of 2015-2016 at ISB. Before coming to ISB, I worked for 2 years with KPMG Advisory Services Private Limited, which is the consulting division within KPMG. For 2 years, I was working with this organization with different verticals, ranging from financial services to commodity trading, hospitality, conglomerates, etc. And before that, I graduated from IIT Roorkee, wherein I held several leadership positions within the college, as well as represented my college as well as India across the world in international conferences, etc. And I've brought around all that experience to ISB this year, and looking forward to making a difference in the future as well. Right. So among Indian B schools, I feel ISB's curriculum of 1-year PGP program combines various aspects of work experience along with the academic curriculum that they have planned in a beautiful way, which is very different from the other Indian B schools today. Candidates here do not just walk in right after college by simply giving an entrance exam and entering. They have a very thorough process of selection of students, and they plan this complete batch of 750, 770 students very well in terms of the exposure of industry they bring, the number of years of experience they bring, etc. So that enriches the experience of this 1-year program for each and every individual who's a part of the PGP each year. So that way the PGP program is very enriching, and the selection process also involves not just an examination but several essays, recommendations, professional as well as academic recommendations for each and every individual, which is a more holistic approach of judging a student or an incumbent into the batch, and perhaps improves the quality of the batch overall, and brings in people who are passionate about the work, who have proven themselves in their various fields before coming to ISB, and are here to improve the caliber of the entire batch as a whole. Peer experience is a very important part of any MBA program, and it cannot simply be a professor or a teacher teaching you through the books. It is a very experiential learning program that we look at the end of the day, and that way working in teams, working in peer groups wherein each individual is bringing some insight or information to the table based on their prior experience, based on their diverse industries, is something which is worth taking away from a MBA course at the end of the day, and that is something that ISB brings about the best amongst Indian B schools today. Before coming to ISB and while I was at IIT Roorkee, I have always been wanting to become an entrepreneur. While I was at IIT, I participated in several business plan competitions, in fact was even awarded certain seed funding for my startup ideas. And I took an industry exposure with consulting before coming to ISB to understand various industries a little bit better and understand the working of different organizations in a more structured way. Post that, once I've come to ISB this year, I again participated in case study competitions with several different teams, etc. And finally, I managed to make a pitch to Matrix Partners, which is a VC funding organization, and they really liked our idea, which was the reason why we were chosen among the top from 50-odd B-plan pitches. We were chosen in the top 3 to finally pitch to the director at Matrix Partners. And this experience was really enriching, and I look forward to carrying this entrepreneurial spirit further in my life, and perhaps 4 to 5 years down the line, I plan to launch my own venture. ISB has a very engaging and hectic curriculum, in the sense that before each class you need to prepare for the class and come. So that is a very good aspect of the learning here. So for every class participation, there are people who have read, there are pre-reads that you do when you come, there are different industry insights that you require for, depending on the case that you're discussing in each class, be it from the manufacturing side, be it from the airline industry or healthcare industry. Any kind of industry, you require people with similar experience in the classroom, perhaps adding on to the discussion, and that is something I find really good in the classes here. And pre-reads are an important part of any classroom experience, and that is something which everyone inculcates and brings to the table. I think there are several networking opportunities here. For every kind of question or insight you require, there is always a go-to person whom you can approach, who's perhaps got the expertise in that domain, and you could reach out to them at any point of time. There are very welcoming, very passionate individuals here. not people who would be, hesitant to help you out at any point of time. So you could reach out to anybody and get your insights and perhaps expand your network and get to the bottom of the problem that you're trying to solve. That is something that we have all learned out here, and with the different case experiences and case study competitions that we've been part of, that is a very key aspect that we look into, and we speak to many people, we bring insights and bottle it up in our answers and solutions, and that's how we win and go forward. So that's a beautiful aspect of ISB that, again, I bring in terms of the experience and the people that you can connect with. It's just to be on your feet and be passionate about the problem at hand. I think before coming to ISB, the sleeping hours and the working hours would seem very different for any individual, but here at ISB, we are working 24/7 and we enjoy doing that. We love the work we do, we live the work we do. So it's like entire day, even if you're discussing a particular case, we're discussing a particular problem, it never seems like work. It seems like it's a part of life, it's a part of discussion. And be it current affairs, be it news problems, be it debates, we are constantly learning, moving, discussing with people and enjoying the entire experience. So I think that is something I would take away and would really help all of us, including me, in our professional and corporate lives going forward. I was very fortunate to have received a 40% tuition waiver by ISB while I was selected among the top 4% or 6% of the batch who received scholarship. So I received a 10 lakh tuition waiver, and that in fact enhanced my decision making for joining ISB this year versus perhaps deferring my admission and joining next year. So I took up the scholarship, and that in fact made me, the rest of the fee I could pay off with my own earnings with the previous job that I had. And this helped me in becoming more fearless in terms of the kind of opportunities I was looking forward to at ISB. I was looking forward to networking with people and perhaps starting or planning my own entrepreneurial venture. And because of the lack of burden of a student loan, I could do this more easily and work on my startup ideas and talk to people more easily on this, and perhaps concentrate on areas which I wanted to develop and improve upon without the fear of perhaps having to, fulfill a loan later in my life. And I was fortunate enough to have worked out my year pretty well that way, and even got an offer from Yes Bank and the YACE program. That was just about 10 days back. So I've had a very holistic experience with ISB, and I'm really glad I managed to join this year and did not defer my admission for next year. And the 10 lakh scholarship was a great enabler in the same. While at ISB, one of the main achievements today that I would like to list would be the pitching experience that I finally managed. So we won a couple of competitions, be it national level Deloitte Mavericks competition. We had been selected from campus to represent the campus further. Even we won at the Vista International, the Bangalore, I am Bangalore based competition, which was being organized by PwC. So we won several competitions, but the best one I liked was Matrix Partners selecting our pitch to be further discussed and incorporated. So that startup idea which I built on, which was pitched to the Matrix Partners, was one of the most exciting and defining moments for me at ISB. I think all the departments at ISB were very quick with the way they responded on any issue and any assistance that students required, and they are an integral part of why we are able to function smoothly throughout the year. So CAS has been a major enabler in all the placement-related queries as well as issues that we've ever faced, and they have been very good in the way they have handled the entire placement process, and it's been extremely smooth for all the students who have I mean, imagine the kind of load they would have to manage if they have to get 350 students placed within 2 or 3 days. So I think they've done a phenomenal job that way. And be it other functions and services such as the LRC and SEAL, they've been very supportive as well. We've never faced any issue wherein we require assistance and they've not been able to help us out. So I think, yes, they are an integral reason why we're able to focus our energies on things like academics more efficiently, because all the other things are taken care of by these. There are very crazy moments wherein we are probably working at 2 in the LRC on one case and then hopping and going and discussing another assignment with somebody else, and then suddenly hopping and doing a flash mob with another group of people, and then trying to go and run a presentation the next day. So yes, the activities you can do here are phenomenal. So one of the days I was busy with first a case competition discussion for 2 hours in the evening, then another 3 hours on an assignment. And then when I was walking back from one SV to the other, after completing an assignment, which was around 2 in the night, I heard a lot of musical voices and sounds coming from one of the SVs. And then I realized it is a group of people whom I knew who were having a jamming session in the music room. And I just headed there. So it's around 2 in the night, and 2 to 4 we are actually sitting and practicing different songs for 2.5 hours, and voila, what an experience that was. And we even plan to perform that next month. So that's how we roll. And 4 o'clock I come back to my room, and 8 a.m. I'm back in the classes. So it's a day jam-packed with diverse events, be it academic, be it co-curricular. You're in the moment and you enjoy it a lot. Networking is one. Academic, so the insights that the professors bring, I think we have world-class professors out here. People who come from various institutes abroad, as well as the best of the professors in India as well. And the kind of insights they bring to the table, the kind of latest trends that they are able to discuss and inform us about, and then the kind of debates we engage in are very interesting. And those are the kind of things which enhance our overall personality beyond what would happen if you're simply working in an organization in that 1 year. So yes, I would see this 1 year of coming and learning at ISB to be much more enhancing than probably thinking of working for another couple of years in different roles in the industries and then gaining that exposure. So I think that way you're dealing with the latest and the best trends and information while you're at ISB. Yeah. All right, so I was part of the consulting club, the finance club as well. So finance club held a lot of events such as the Artha and several other networking events wherein we were asked to go to Bombay, and we met several industry leaders. Similarly, so a lot of these clubs, we had treks which were not just national but also international treks, wherein we are going and meeting several companies, going to their offices and meeting particular spokes and stakeholders who sort of inform us more about the trends of how they are, what they're functioning, what they're looking into, etc. So yeah, those were certain things which were key for all of us who were part of the clubs. And yeah, I think that's about it. More than that, it is more about our own learning that we bring to the table. Yeah, the clubs are more about meeting, networking with people, and going and meeting industry leaders from different domains in that specific area, be it finance, be it infrastructure, be it consulting. So I think SREI also held an international trek, which is something I missed, but I would have loved to be a part of that too. But yes, these are the clubs help in meeting up with different industry leaders in that area.